So apparently, there's a problem with women never being approached, even when they're pretty. Let's see what it's about.
Attractive people are usually isolated and lonely. So if you're an attractive person, unfortunately, this is something that you're going to have to learn to accept because attractive people struggle with finding genuine relationships, and they're also at higher risk of people attempting to sabotage them. And I'm going to break this down. Now, there was another content creator on here, and from what I gathered in her video, she's a therapist.
Mm.
And in her video, she talks about some of the things that her gorgeous clients struggle with, and she also has explanations. And I
Here I am trying to convince you that there's nothing wrong with me for having never been in a relationship, but I don't even know if I've really convinced myself. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I just see the ugliest human being ever, and I attribute that to why I've never been desired or pursued by a guy.
Okay, boo boo, I got a real question. Do you love this filter though? Isn't she so cute? But anyways, and it sounds like so crazy, so insecure, and so desperate to ask. But like, I need okay. And the pretty girls, they need to know. They need to know is like, okay, is it a thing for pretty girls to not get asked out? And I just know that can't be it. Just because I have seen pretty girls get asked out and be in relationships, period. That is a thing that happens. We all know that. But I don't know, like,
You not getting
I
asked
don't
out.
get asked out. I don't get
Whatever it is.
approached, but a lot of my friends do. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's I'm not saying that they're not pretty, but I'm saying like, is there an aura or a vibe? But I feel like I got the personality. I don't know.
You
I
don't.
think
You don't have a good personality. I've seen videos of her literally saying, I'm strong and independent. I don't need a man. And men don't accept me for that. And I don't know why. Well, maybe it's because you're strong and independent. And then you acknowledge maybe I should be more feminine. But I'm not going to be more feminine because I don't want to be. A man needs to accept me the way that I am. I'm strong and I'm going to continue to be this way. So it doesn't really matter if you're pretty, you're a supermodel, whatever. Modern women think that they can get away with anything. You think that you can be rude. I don't know where you guys get this from. That, oh, well, a man is good looking and we see how he treats the ladies and I'm pretty too and I've worked to get myself to this place and so I can act the way that I want to act. No, he's a jerk and so are you. And that's why you're not getting people to ask you out because you're acting in a behavior that is unbecoming of not just women, people who are decent human beings in general. Too bad.
really know.
Oh, you're attractive, but you're not getting asked out? Here's why. Number one, location and situation to be approached. You need to put yourself in a situation and a location that allows you to be approached. If you're just going out to the bar and that's the only place that you're thinking you're gonna meet someone or meet someone to even ask you out or be attracted to, I'm sorry, but 9 times out of 10, they're not looking for their future girlfriend or their future wife there. They're looking for a one night stand, a hookup, or a fling. So put yourself in those situations and those locations that allow you to be asked out and to be approached. Go to a coffee shop, take out your earphones, sit down, smile at people. If you see someone behind you that's cute, say hi or wave. Be approachable and be in that situation. Workout class, cafes. Number two.
Well, I mean, they're telling men not to approach them in these literal settings that you're telling them to be approached in. So maybe that's a reason as well. They can look approachable, but they're saying, don't approach me. I don't care how approachable I look. I don't care if I'm smiling at you. If I'm locking eyes with you, don't you come over here. That's what women have said.
I kind of touched on this in the first one, but that approachable. You need to be open. You need to be able to even be approached. You cannot have your headphones in and expect someone to come up to you. You cannot be eating and zoned out and someone to come up to you. That's just not how it is. You need to be approachable. If you're in a workout class, don't be on your phone right before. Be up and ready and smiling at people and be that approachable self. Stop rushing and being frantic. Stop rushing from point A to point B and not being able to talk to anyone and only giving yourself that time to make it there really quickly. No one's gonna come approach you if you're speed walking somewhere. No one's gonna approach you if you get there late and show up and you're quickly grabbing something and turning around and going somewhere else. You cannot show that you're frantic and that you're rushing to be places because no one's gonna approach you. People are intimidated. They know that they honestly shouldn't approach you if you're in a rush or you need to be somewhere because it would be rude. So give yourself that extra time to be able to take your time and possibly even meet someone and have a conversation. And last but not least, stop looking and throwing yourself at people. People see if you are needy and looking for that, and it's a turnoff. So stop throwing yourself at people and looking. Just stop looking in general, and they will come to you and they will find you if you are open and you are following the other rules that I just stated. If you are desperate and you're throwing yourself at every single guy that you find attractive, it's unattractive and it will catch up to you, and people can read right through that.
The advice in general is pretty good advice, right? Be approachable. But I think society has made a lot of these modern women very lazy daters. And I'm not even trying to throw any shade. All of the things that you talked about, taking your headphones out, it's good advice. But you just listen to it and you step back and you think, this shouldn't have to be said. How would you feel if you were thinking about, I want to go over there and talk to them, but it seems like they're pretty busy? That's how you look in reverse with your headphones in, with your head in a book, or rushing off somewhere. So a man really can't come up to you. He can't approach you if you're doing those things that indicate to a normal human being, this person is busy. I should not walk up to them and ask them out. There's a lot of modern women that put the onus, all of it, on men. I want you to come over here, speak to me. I want you to go through the most difficult situations and approach me. It doesn't matter if I accept your invitation or not. I want you to do the hardest stuff. And I just take it easy. I just relax. At some point in time, you're going to have to do some type of critical thinking. You're not going to get away from that. And that's what's hurting a lot of modern women in the dating arena. You don't want to think about anything. Even if you're educated, even if you're accomplished, you want to get to the point, for whatever reason, maybe you've been watching too much TV or TikToks or something like that, where you don't want to do anything. You want to come home and turn your brain off. But then for some weird, strange and odd reason, you don't think that your man should be able to turn his brain off. When he comes home, you think it's terrible for him to sit down and relax and maybe have a drink or watch TV for an hour or so. But that's what you're trying to do. That's what you want your man to do. You want to be able to walk into the house. Maybe he have takeout or dinner ready or something, whatever you want done. You want him to have that done when you walk inside the house. But you don't want to do that for your man. You see what I mean? Like, it's just lazy dating, lazy relationships. And you wonder why men are not asking you out.
Really attractive girls do not get approached. They do not get chased, and they don't get texted first. Because if you're a really attractive girl, usually guys only walk up to girls who they think that they can be in control with, or who they think they have a shot with.
I mean, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Who they think that they control. How about think that they can cooperate with? I mean, the other part, or they think they have a shot with. Obviously. Why would I go for somebody that doesn't want me around?
So if you're like super pretty, most of the time, not even your friends check in on you, because everybody just thinks, okay, she's got it all. And they probably think there is so much competition around you that you don't even get approached.
Maybe.
Like, you don't even get talked to. You don't get asked out on dates. And honestly, it's a compliment. It's a compliment that people are intimidated by your aura, by your looks, by probably even your personality. Because usually they're like, oh, she's pretty, so she's probably dumb. Like, she probably doesn't even have a personality.
What?
Or she's not even that smart. You know, I probably can't talk to her on a deeper level. So I'd rather just date somebody that, you know, I can chit chat with about, you know, all the things that concern me, and they can listen to me and admire me and put me on a pedestal instead of me putting somebody else on a pedestal, because all of this is a game. It's like, it's all about control. And obviously, if you're a person who's very confident, who's very pretty, attractive, you know, you have loads of options. And so people get intimidated by that. So if you've ever wondered, why don't I get approached? Why don't I get asked out? Why doesn't he ever text me first? It's probably because you're super pretty and attractive.
That's so stupid. They don't attract you. They don't approach you because, for lack of a better term, you're dumb. They think you're dumb. That should be a compliment to you. Come on, guys. The coping mechanisms are getting worse and worse.
These are things I've noticed about girls who are really pretty. So if you relate to these, you're probably just like really pretty. People hate them for no reason. Like, they're just like, oh, she just thinks she's all that. She just acts like blah. No real reason. No real reason for hating them. They get excluded a lot, especially by people who are jealous of them. I've literally heard girls say things like, I don't want her to come, like she's too pretty. They don't get complimented that much or hit on as much as everyone thinks. Because everyone thinks, oh my god, she's probably getting compliments all the time. She doesn't need my compliment. Everyone's probably hitting on her, so like, what's the point? And if everyone's thinking that, no one hits on them. No one compliments them.
Let's talk about why super pretty girls don't get asked out very often. Also, I just got my nails done so bomb. I'll do a close-up at the end for a screenshot. It all comes down to a fear of rejection. When men see a super, super pretty girl, they assume that they're gonna be rejected in one way or another. If they shoot their shot, there's a large chance of them being rejected, and that's just gonna hurt their egos. It's a big insecurity thing because guys that are super secure in themselves don't have a problem with approaching girls that they're interested in because they don't really give a fuck. Going off the insecurity thing, since she's so pretty, they probably assume that she's been hit on a million times in that night, and if she's not talking to any guy, then that's probably a sign in their mind. Along with that, you could have an intimidating look about you. A lot of hot girls give off kind of like a resting bitch type of vibe, and a guy's not going to be like running up to you if that's the vibe. That's why you a lot of times see guys go for girls that are seen by society as like sixes or whatever, because they are more approachable, and guys shoot their shot with them because they don't have to worry about getting rejected.
Have you ever thought about, I think there was this one woman that people were in the comments saying she married a 10 and she's a 4. And she was like, why are you hating on me instead of getting the knowledge from me? Like, she's a 4. How did she do that? And then coming and talking to me and seeing how I did it. How am I approachable? How do I get a guy that all of the ladies want? Instead, you just sit back and trash me. These modern women they'd rather sit back and trash passport bros for going overseas. And, well, you ain't safe. You ain't doing, okay, well, we're going to be safe about it. But I'm still going to go over here and I'm going to find me somebody that likes me and values what I like. They're not educated. They are educated. They can't speak any English. She's speaking English right now. They don't want to have your babies. They don't want to submit. She's doing it right now. Has been for the last 10, 15 years. Yeah, but, and it's always something else other than I need to look inward and see what I'm doing. Sure, it might be a man is insecure, but is there another part of the equation? Like you just said, it might be RBF. What about these sixes is leading men to approach them? Is it their demeanor? Is it their body language? Is it something that they said? Is it some of their actions? Like maybe they reach out and say, hey, how are you doing? And they strike up a conversation. And what do you know? People love conversation. They love being social, even if they're introverted. And they just strike up a conversation and they have a relationship. But you think that you can just sit there, RBF or not, and somebody just gonna come up and approach you. Like I said earlier on in the video, very lazy daters some of these modern women are.
In their mind. On top of that, girls that run in packs of hot girls make it even harder because a guy's already scared to approach one pretty girl. Imagine approaching like 5 pretty girls. There are a few solutions to look more approachable. For example, you can work on that resting bitch because if you have more of like a smiley, happy face and presence, then it's more likely they're going to come up to you. On top of that, you can take a solo lap around the bar or wherever so that you're not surrounded by your cluster of hotties. The one thing I will say though,
imagine somebody telling them that and they're saying, don't tell me what to do.
Any man that isn't able to approach you due to your hotness maybe isn't the man for you. Like, personally, when I picture a soulmate, I don't picture someone that like won't even go up to you and approach you. Like, if he knows he wants you, he's gonna come and get you. Anyways, that's just my hot take on the situation. Here's the final skincare. Mwah. Love you guys. I almost forgot, these are the nails. They're so cute. For a better screenshot. Love you guys.
If you're someone who's pretty or socially deemed attractive, even if you're attractive in the slightest degree, you need to learn how to be a band. Let me explain why. If you're wondering,
Go ahead.
oh, how do I know if I'm pretty, or how do I know if I'm attractive? I'll answer that by telling you how I know I'm pretty. First
Okay.
way I know is by how people react when I walk into a room. Like, seeing the reaction on their face when they see me, that's how I know. I also have a mirror at home, and I have eyes. Like, I know what the fuck I see.
Okay.
I also get compliments from men, women, and I also sometimes get it from children. If
All
you
right.
can relate or if you can identify with this, then this is for you. The first reason why you need to be a bitch is because you are going to be a beacon, a trigger for everybody. Okay, not everybody, but for most people. The reason for that is you are a physical representation of someone they wish they could be.
All right.
Think of yourself like a mirror to them. You're going to be constantly reminding them of everything they don't like about themselves, especially things they don't like about themselves physically. And because you trigger them, it doesn't matter if you're kind, it doesn't matter if you're a good person.
They're gonna try to humble you. Huh?
They are going to find reasons to hate you. This is where you really have to do the work to get to know yourself and know who you are, because they are going to be picking at everything. For example, your character. Even if you think you're doing right by people, they're gonna find something wrong with the things you do. You're gonna be held to like a very, very high standard, a standard that they don't even hold upon themselves, mind you. So when you make like minor mistakes or very human mistakes, that just goes over their head. This is gonna feel unfair, because it is. And if this was happening to any normal person, what they would want to do is bring it up to them, right?
I think what she's saying so far is valid. I don't think you have to be a jerk about it. But what she's essentially saying, I think so far, is people are going to pick at you because of what you look like. They're going to hold you to a higher standard, kind of like they would a CEO, basically. You're the CEO of beauty instead of being the CEO of a company, like a Fortune 500 company. So everything that you do, that they would normally do, that would be a mistake, and they'd be like, oh man, I just made a mistake. For you, because you are the head of the company, then you should know better, right? And so if you have like a pimple on your skin or something like that, or maybe your eyebrow isn't waxed enough, then you should know better than that because you're beautiful. I get what she's saying.
Right? And want to work it out. But if you are someone who is pretty or attractive, I do not recommend doing that, because you are not a normal person. What I mean by that is you are not a normal person to them. Bringing that up to them is just going to add fuel for them to further damage your reputation, because trust me, they're already damaging your reputation behind your back.
Yeah.
You're going to need to make people uncomfortable with treating you this way. And I'm not saying be
Okay.
violent. I'm not
Standing
saying
up
you
for
need
yourself.
to shout at them, but I'm saying you need to come off as someone that doesn't take that. When you're someone who is pretty, you need to have like a level of to you so that people can respect you. So remaining kind and remaining a good person is actually not helping you. The second reason
I think you're talking about being a pushover. That doesn't have anything to do with being kind. You don't need to be a pushover. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to be a jerk about it, but you don't need to be, basically how my dad said it, you need to get somebody off your back. You're riding me, brother. Move. You're riding me, sister. Get off me. You know, so you turn around and you might say something slick and keep on walking. You know what I mean? But you don't gotta go around, cutting people down and stuff like that. I don't think that she's saying that, but yeah.
why you need to be is in society, there's always this hierarchy. And when it comes to you, they want to knock you down a few pegs.
Right.
If you are someone who's humble and looks don't really matter to you, you treat everybody around you as equal, and you don't place yourself on a pedestal, You don't have to place yourself on a pedestal. They'll put you there. Even though in their mind, they're the one that's putting you up on this pedestal, they're still not going to like you for it because they can't help but put you up there because this is the way society has conditioned us, because that is the society that we live in. We live in a society where beauty is currency. The more healthy and beautiful you are, the higher up the social hierarchy you are. Even if you tell yourself that you don't want to play into this and you don't want to participate in that type of negativity,
People
you're
like
going to keep
pretty
running into the
things.
same problem because
They
it's
like
human
beautiful
nature
things.
for people to play these power dynamics. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yep.
So you might as well learn to protect yourself. And this is not to tell you to be a bitch just to be a bitch. This will actually help you in your social
Appreciate you saying that.
interactions a lot more.
Appreciate you
You'll
saying that.
find that if you have some level of bitch to you, your friendships are a lot better too. People will also treat you better because, again, these power dynamics. I could talk about this all day, and there's actually way more into this subject. It just goes way more deeper.
Yep.
But I wanted to focus on those main two reasons, and hopefully this helps you out there. Hopefully it stops the confusion for you, because it can be hard. Just know that you can still be yourself. You can still be the loving, good person that you are. You just have to be picky with who. I hope this helps.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that at the end where you said you don't have to walk around being a jerk to everybody, because you don't, like we were saying the same thing. You have to have a little edge to you so people don't view you and see you as a pushover. That's just natural. Beauty, people love beauty. And I know a lot of modern women try to place it on the man, that the man pushes these insane beauty standards on women, but it's actually society in general. That's why you have the makeup industry. Ooh, look at what Kim Kardashian is doing. Ooh, look at whatever Cameron Diaz is doing, or Carmen Electra. I haven't heard that name in a long time. I remember back when I was growing up, she was a thing, man. People loved her. They would, oh man, she is so gorgeous. Da da da. I don't know what happened to her, man. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to look that up after I get done with this video. Yeah, man. Back in the early 2000s? Yeah, probably about that time. Her and Cameron Diaz and Paris Hilton, that's all you hear about, brother. So yeah, man, I see what she's saying. Don't let people push you around. But yeah, I think you got to come to the point at some point in time where if nobody's approaching you as an attractive person, it could be that they're insecure about themselves. But then I would encourage you and recommend that you look at what it is that you're doing, how you're presenting yourself. You can present yourself in, okay, I'm beautiful. I have makeup on. I did my whole thing. Face card. Don't decline that whole whatever you want to do for your ego, whatever. Great. But it also has to do with engagement. How do you engage the other party? Not every man is going to approach you because of insecurity, but I've seen plenty of beautiful, gorgeous women that are married. So somebody approached them. Somebody had the guts to do it. And you have the same chance. How are you looking? Where are you going? How are you telling them that you can approach me? Yes, I am available, right? And sometimes you just have to come up to them and say hi. Maybe that's the vibe there. But anyway, that's just my opinion. See y'all in the next video. I'm out.